We think of the disciplinary core ideas as tools for making sense of phenomena. Then, to meet the NGSS, students must learn to see the potential usefulness of each tool in their toolkit of not only disciplinary core ideas, but cross-cutting concepts and the practices. Students have to learn to approach the phenomenon as scientists who consider an array of possibilities.
And burning fossil fuels like coal and gasoline create heat-trapping gases that get added to the Earth's atmosphere, and this is causing our climate to warm. And that also causes some other changes, like stronger storms. So bats are also losing their habitat when things like hurricanes or strong wind events knock down a lot of their roosting trees.
The little brown bat phenomenon, studied by students, is a new phenomenon scientists are learning about now. So the possibility for students to see the science as it unfolds as a current event is high.
I think there's a disease only the little brown bats can get, but the big brown bats can't get it. So the little brown bats are dying and leaving more food for the big brown bats, so their population is going up.
According to Paul White, a bat expert, the fungus that is causing problems for the little brown bat is invasive. In addition, bats have biota on their wings, which may, in some species, like the big brown bat, contribute to resisting the fungus. Students almost immediately, within a day, came back to me and said that it was white nose syndrome that was causing the decline in the little brown bats. And I think some of that information came to them outside of school. I'm certain of it. They were curious about things we had said that in the first days of the presentation, the introduction to the unit, and several of them went home and started investigating and came back pretty certain that this was the cause of it, and in fact more concerned with how it was spreading, how it got here, than the fact that that was what had caused the decline in the population. What does the graph show you?
How the little brown bat population has declined
Significantly, right? And then right here is where they seem to have something happened right there.
Yeah.
Something happened. We're going to have to look into that. In this case, scientists and our students have a smorgasbord of cross-cutting concepts and disciplinary core ideas to select from. And to understand the phenomenon, the students must learn to see the disciplinary core ideas and cross-cutting concepts potential for each so-called tool they hold. They're going to generate a list of all of the threats that they know bats face, just a list. And they're going to do it as a group.
If we want to drive in our car, we release toxins into the air, and then their environment changes.
Okay, all right, so you want to say, I can see you wrote.
Deforestation, urbanization.
Urbanization, good. Air pollution. Humans are cutting down trees. Why? Right?
To get paper and money, and they for their farm stuff.
Okay, that's what I want.
Evidence for how urbanization has also affected the bat population. As people kill trees to make houses and destroy other houses to rebuild them, bats are losing their habitats. Does that make sense?
Go up there and look at them.
Some bats' habitats, like if they lose a habitat, they try to find another one.
Yeah.
The one that they found could be like infected or have pollution.
Okay.
Or other animals might be there to try to eat them.
Okay, I think that's true. Are you trying to argue for white nose syndrome or habitat loss?
Habitat loss.
Okay, so you have to have a bit of evidence for each one of those statements. Yeah? So do you feel like you're ready to make your claim from this?
I think so.
Okay, so when you write your claim, how's it going to go? The bat population
It's declining because of white nose syndrome.
Okay.
And everything that humans.
A DCI tool in this phenomenon is that the little brown bat is a specialist and has adapted to long periods where the primary food source is unavailable. This has to do with the flow of energy and matter in an ecosystem.
the white nose syndrome has a 95 to 100% mortality rate.
That's true.
And then the reasoning behind this is because it makes them either go outside the cave to look for food during the winter, or wake up and lose body fat during hibernation, and that makes them starve to death or freeze to death, depending on which.
Okay, so here's a question I'm going to ask you before you present. So the population, I can look at my graph, I see the population dropped pretty dramatically. Why did it drop right then? Why, I mean, what caused that? That's pretty dramatic. So why didn't they die from white nose syndrome here?
Maybe they had like an immune system to fight it off. Maybe because they're different species of bats. One was.
Say, I'll tell you right now, same species of bats. It's on the East Coast and it did what?
It spread.
It spread. It spread across, right? So, does that tell you anything about why that maybe dropped right there?
It's when the white nose syndrome spread the most and was at its peak.
It's when white nose syndrome spread and got here. Exactly so, yes. The decline of the little brown bat, like many phenomena in science, is extraordinarily complex, and a scientist won't use one cross-cutting concept to approach the issue, but asks questions as viewed through many lenses. And so we spent a lot of time asking questions, and then from the questions we could start looking at how the system actually went together, and from that they could start creating their own models. What do bats eat? What eat bats? Where do they live? What do they need? You can use this to help remind you what you want to put into your ecosystem model.
Well, this is our bat. His name is Martin. These are abiotic factors of like their ecosystem, and then the biotic factors, living factors of their ecosystem.
When we consider the sense-making of this figuring out which ideas work together, we see more students' voices being heard and more ideas being considered. This phenomenon is motivating and inspires confidence, partly because the sense-making is agentive for students. They are putting together the story and making it make sense. The figuring out is extremely gratifying for us as teachers and for our students.